Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Ryan Sevcik, and I'm a member of Coley Jessen's Employment, Labor, and Benefits Group. One of my primary areas of focus is with employment-based immigration matters, and this will be the first of a series of segments regarding the H-1B lottery process. Now that we're past the holiday season, immigration practitioners around the country turn their focus to the H-1B lottery season. This can be a complex process, and over the next several weeks, we're going to review and highlight some of the changes that are coming with respect to the H-1B process and what employers and employees need to be considering as the weeks progress. Under the current regulatory process, employers who want to submit an H-1B application for one of the new H-1B visas must pre-register with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. In the event there are more registrations submitted than there are visas available, USCIS generally conducts a lottery to determine which of those applications is going to be actually adjudicated. Currently, there are 85,000 total H-1B visas that are available, 65,000 of those for the regular cap, and an additional 20,000 of those are reserved for the master's cap. For the last several years, the demand has far exceeded the supply with respect to H-1B visas, thus triggering the lottery process. It is widely anticipated that this year's H-1B visa process will also trigger a lottery. For this year's H-1B lottery process, the registration window begins on March 1st, 2021 and extends until March 20th, 2021. Noted, there is no benefit to filing early or registering your applicant early in that registration process as opposed to the end of it. The important thing from a procedural perspective is that that registration is submitted to USCIS within that registration period. Again, although the registration is what's important, it is also important that prior to submitting that registration, the case is vetted in order to assess and make sure that both the position is H-1B caliber and that the individual who you're submitting in the lottery is also likely to qualify. One of the sessions in the coming weeks will detail those issues, specifically whether the position is H-1B caliber and whether the individual qualifies. So more to come on that. Historically, the H-1B lottery process has been just that, a truly random selection where individuals were selected at random by USCIS to determine which applications were actually going to be adjudicated. On January 8th, the Department of Homeland Security finalized regulations that might change this process for the coming year. What those new regulations would do is rather than have the random process, instead applicants would be selected based on the projected wage levels that they would earn if selected in the lottery. So for instance, in order to be submitted for the H-1B lottery, an individual has to be slotted on a level of 1, 2, 3, or 4 in terms of the wages that they're going to make. These new regulations, rather than being random, would start with the highest level, level 4 wages, and work their way down the scale. Thus, individuals earning at the higher end of the wage scale will be much more likely to be selected than those individuals at the lower end. In the event there are not a sufficient number of visas to account for each individual wage level, a truly random lottery would be conducted just at that wage level. Although these regulations to implement this change have been finalized, the question still remains as to whether these will actually be implemented for the coming lottery season. With the change of presidential administrations currently underway, it is largely anticipated that the new administration may review this and other regulations that were implemented in the waning months of the Trump administration to determine whether or not these regulations should be carried forward. So, more to come on that in the coming weeks. In the event an individual's H-1B registration is selected in the lottery, the company will then be able to file the full H-1B petition with USCIS within 90 days of that announcement. That announcement should come on or before April 1st, 2021. Thank you again for listening today. Please check back in next week for another informative session regarding the H-1B lottery season.